going back and watching the film from Saturday, do you feel like it was maybe more so what Seattle did that put you guys in some tough situations, or what did you come away with?
Definitely got to give them some credit for the style that they employed, especially when they got the lead. You know, kind of taking the air out of the ball a little bit and being very measured. But we expected that. I thought it was more so just our sloppiness on offense. We really struggled to get into any sort of momentum, any sort of rhythm, and we were just sloppy. I mean, we had just silly turnovers, throwing the ball away, traveling. Offensively, they got in the gaps and dared us to shoot, and we became stagnant and didn't share the ball like we had been previous games, and we just were sloppy. We had some major breakdowns defensively. We were, getting skin to skin on the ball, 40, 50, 60 feet from the basketball and letting Terrell Brown, get angles on us when, we know better than that, and we just didn't play very well. And it was disappointing, and, we were disappointed, obviously, at halftime, especially the way we played, and we were happy we were able to figure out a way to win the game, but we didn't take a step in the correct direction Saturday night for sure.
It's an interesting week, to me at least. Like, you have a non-D1, I know you take those seriously as well, but then on Saturday you have a chance to wrap up the number 1 seed. Like, I guess, how do you see this week?
Well, I'm glad that we're playing Tuesday. After Saturday's performance, I think it's important that we get on the game floor again and have an opportunity to perform better. We've got to get this taste out of our mouth. And again, we're glad that we won. And I said it after the game that, not every game's going to be a Picasso. Not every game's going to be pretty. And we understand that. But after watching the video, we played worse than I thought. We just struggled. Not just making baskets, making free throws, missing front ends, but just our offensive flow. And that's kind of what we've been doing best, was sharing the ball and moving the basketball and moving bodies and, playing inside out. And we just struggled for whatever reason. So I think this week is perfect in that regard, where we get to play right away. Looking forward to that. And then we're playing a hot UTRGV team. They're playing well. Certainly they're coming off a loss against Utah Valley at home, and they'll be eager to, come in here and play us. No one, wants to be the team that the other, opponent clinches a championship either, so that'll be some motivation for them. And we had a tough game against them last time. It was a 2-point game, and AJ made the pass there late to get us out of there with the win. So I'm looking forward to the week.
You guys talk about that at all with the guys, just the opportunity that you will have on Saturday to wrap up the 1 seed?
Yeah, we'll probably talk about it. At this point, in the conference season, they're going to be aware of it, and we try to be upfront and honest with where we're at all year long. And I'm sure by, Wednesday, Thursday, it'll be something that we'll discuss, but it'll still be, secondary to playing better and getting better and competing and worrying about how we're performing on both ends of the floor.
I think after the game, Sean said something that was interesting, was that, because I think he was asked about playing these close games. Is it good, or is it like you need to send a message type of thing? And he said that they would like to, take care of business, I guess, and not give these teams the chance. Like, you played a lot of close games in conference play, and I guess, he'd like to. Is that a team mentality where, these teams are probably going to think that they have a chance to knock you guys off?
Well, yeah, I mean, I said it all year long. I mean, the WAC's better. I mean, there's a lot of good teams, and I had no delusions of grandeur that we were going to walk through the league. And, I'd be honest with you, I'm surprised that we have the record that we have. We've been fortunate a couple times and been able to win some close games. So I didn't have any my mindset wasn't one of, hey, we need to, demolish everybody we play. That just wasn't going to happen. And so, certainly I understand where he's coming from, talking about, trying not to let these other teams have confidence, but at the same time, they're good basketball teams. And unless we played, close to perfect, every time out, we weren't going to, have easy wins, especially on the road. So, I think once we get there to Vegas, it's set up to be a wild tournament because of the parity. We just played a team that could be 6-7 seed, and they're going to get healthier. By the time that comes, and we can talk about all the scores in the league, and a lot of people are beating each other, and everyone else has at least 4 losses, and we've just been fortunate to get out of some tough situations and get some wins, or we could be in the same boat as everybody else. And we just have to understand that our margin for error is really, really small, and we've got to play well in each and every game, and hopefully we'll continue to get better and progress towards WAC Vegas.
How is Yvonne kind of progressing the last? I mean, it's been a couple 3 games, but do you feel like he's kind of getting back to where he was for the first portion of the season before he got hurt?
I still don't think he's 100%. Hopefully, he will get there this week. I expected this kind of progression, though. I've got to know him now, and I've coached him, and he's just not the type of athlete that's going to bounce back from something like that quickly. He needs daily conditioning. He needs to be on the floor every day to keep his rhythm. But he looks physically better to me. Maybe it's the haircut. I don't know. He looks a little slimmer that way. But I think this week, hopefully, we'll see the Yvonne of old, and we certainly need him to get back to where he was prior to the injury.
What makes UT-RGV so tough to go against, and do you feel like they're one of the most improved teams in the conference?
They're definitely one of the most improved teams in the league. What makes them hard to play against is just their relentless pursuit of the basketball. They just steal the ball. They deflect the ball, they steal the ball. Their main goal is to turn you over. They never let you relax. You just can't let your guard down at all offensively, or they'll pounce on you. And all of a sudden they'll go on a 6 or 8 point run and change the game. And we had a difficult time with it up there, and we thought we were prepared for it. I remember saying prior to the game I was looking forward to playing against that style, and I was pretty confident in my guys to be able to handle the trapping and the pressing. But we didn't handle it very well. So we'll get another crack at it on Saturday, and hopefully we'll perform better.
How do you think you guys defended against them the first time, or did they get offense off of their defense?
We were okay in the half court. It was more, like you said, our inability to secure the ball and make good decisions, and they just turned us over too much. And I even thought Saturday, to be honest with you, that the one good sign that came out of Saturday was our defensive numbers were good. And I always tell our team that when the ball is not going through the hole, you still got to be motivated to defend. And we've all seen teams that struggle on offense and then don't play as hard defensively, and that's a bad sign. But I do feel like the one positive we can take away from that game is they kept defending, and they knew they were in a dogfight, and you could feel the intensity of our play rise up, and we crashed the boards pretty hard there when we needed extra possessions, and so there was some positives that we took away from that game.
You guys played obviously a few close games here recently, but do you feel like you needed a game kind of like Saturday, just where you're not playing well and you still are able to get the victory, to just kind of show them, like, I don't know what it showed them, but show them that you can't just come out here every night and expecting to win? Yeah,
I think they understand that. I mean, I think they respect the game and they respect the opponents. We just struggled offensively. We've played enough close games where I think we're prepared for anything that way. We've had a lot of close games this year, and so we've been under duress and had some stressful situations where they can learn from these situations and be prepared for the next one. But I'd rather have played well and not had a close game, to be honest with you. I don't feel like at this point in the season, we don't need to be learning a bunch of lessons at this point. We're certainly going to, drive that home this afternoon and make a point of it. But at the same time, I don't think it was, required or needed. I just as soon play a little better going down the stretch.
You mentioned this earlier, and I agree with you. I remember you said that you thought that the WAC winner would have 3 or 4 losses. To have a 3-game lead, is that good for you guys, or is it just, I don't know, are you surprised by the 3-game lead at this point?
Yeah, I mean, I meant what I said. I just didn't think anyone was going to go and just roll through the WAC. And we certainly, our record is indicative of us having a really good season thus far in WAC play. But people that have followed us, you know, we could have easily lost 2 or 3 other games and been, bundled up with all these other teams going down the stretch. And we've just been fortunate that, we've shied away from, those games in that situation. And we've got a little bit of a gap now. And I'm happy we do. I mean, I certainly wouldn't have want to lost those games. And I want to win championships. And you got to figure out a way to do it, And that's what this team has done, and hopefully they'll continue doing it.
Is that the difference? Just the culture, they won championships here for a number of years, including your first year. Is that what the difference is here? Maybe that.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't been around here long enough to say that, but there's a little bit of misnomer about that too. I mean, if you look at the history of the program, I mean, prior to us coming here in the 13 years in the WAC, I think they won 2 outright and shared 1 in those 13 years in the WAC for a total of 3, but the one shared was a 4-way tie. And then the 5 years before that, they had shared a divisional championship. So in 18 years, they had been a part of 4 championship seasons in the regular season. But the way people write about it, it's like just a given that the Aggies win the regular season championship. I understand that, but because of that, because of the tournament success, everybody just, they always write about it. I'm always like, that's not true. But I understand, people think it's like around here, it's our birthright to win the WAC, but in reality, we haven't won it as often as people may think. But because of the tournament success in Vegas in the 3 days and how well they've done there, there's just this image that we win the regular season every year. And it's important to us, and we want to win championships. And I think every coach would tell you that, the conference tournament in the one-bid league is huge. It's what the average fan pays attention to. But for a coach and a program to win a regular season championship is harder to do because of the grind of the season and all that goes on with injuries, et cetera. And to just, stay focused for that many games and get on top especially when there's a lot of good teams in your league. So, hopefully we'll be able to win another championship here shortly.